Hello, Sethian Legionaries. This is Seth, and today I'm going to be bringing you a ranked commentary thing. This is basically going to be an analysis that's actually like pineapple analysis in French, but that's not the point. What I'm trying to say here is I'm just going to bring you an analysis of some of my ranked games, just to kind of show you kind of my thought process, just to show you how I play, kind of point out my own mistakes, kind of point out other people's mistakes. I don't know, just know the kind of video. You know what you're watching. I don't need to explain this to you. As you see, I go to lane. Now, Rengar, right off the bat, we had very good communication in this game. Rengar has decided that he wants to invade. He put down a ward there, and he's been telling us that he's going to invade. In lane, I have kind of an odd start in lane, but I kind of feel that it's probably mostly due to the level 1 of a support Kayle. I was not worried, as you can see. I tried my best to trade with them on equal footing. I lost a lot of health, but Rengar did get first blood in the invade, and honestly, I got the pots. I had what I needed to stay in lane, basically, and I didn't fall too far behind. So then I just had this farm under tower, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Sure, I do fall back on farm, but frankly, farm is something I really need to practice personally. I'm fairly decent at making plays, in my opinion. Where I really fall off is farm related, but luckily I'm in silver 4 right now, and everyone is pretty much in the same boat as me when it comes to farm. So I'm definitely gonna have to work on that, but this said, I never feel too like discomforted in these cases. As you can see, Rengar coming in for a gank there, and as soon as we went aggressive on that Vayne, she realized that the health started chunking. That is the beauty of Varus, in my opinion. The burst is just there the entire game, no matter what. Now, as of that point, we basically got a free kill. Sona got out, but that's perfectly fine. Rengar is getting fed, as you notice. Took some laning minion tax, and I'm perfectly fine with that. He plays his jungle kind of like I would in his position, because I am all about the second laner style of jungling personally. You'd even notice at the beginning of the game that he actually did not buy a hunter's machete. He knew that what he was going for was being aggressive and jumping in people's faces so much more than the jungle clear. And honestly, in those cases, taking minion tax, hey, do what you gotta do, man. I'm not getting the best farm in the world, so might as well put it somewhere, right? So in other words of this case, we've pinged that it's warded, and he comes in for a lane gank. Very, again, just great on his part. We start attacking the Sona just to get her down, and then I start kiting the Vayne around using my E. And to that point, she realizes that she was too slow to catch up to me for a kill, so she tries to get away, but by that point it's too late. And Rengar racks up some more kills. You'll notice Rengar isn't really donating any kills. I don't really mind though, because I mean, he, like I said, he's getting really fed. He didn't have to stop by the spirit item world either. He went straight. I'm not sure if he did. I'm pretty sure. Oh, apparently he did. But basically, he had gotten fed anyways. So at this point, I'm glad that he's taking kills, because he's just going to have a huge advantage all game. And you're going to notice, and you've already noticed, that his pressure is amazing. Amazing jungling on his part overall. Now, I rushed a BF sword, personally, and you're gonna notice here, I chunk the Sona for a hell of a lot of health. This is why I personally do not rush Blade of the Ruined King on Varus. I keep getting told, oh, it's a great item on Varus. Yeah, but for the early game, I just prefer to have that really bursty damage, so IE is more in my priority sights. Now, Rengar making his way in for another lane gank. Rengar just freaking rushes the Sona there, which is kind of funny. I mean, they had no tower and they were still pushing up. I find that this lane that we're facing is pushing up really hard, and I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing all the time, but hey. At this point, I stand back because I know Rengar and Kayle can work their magic, and I'd rather just stay back, try to finish these guys. Rengar ends up finishing them anyways, so in a way, you could say that I'm feeling kind of useless right now, but I am contributing to the best of my ability in these fights, and see, putting down some damage so that other people can finish off their kills. It's working out in our favor. We're getting another tower. I'm perfectly fine with it, so as far as I'm concerned, let's work that magic some more. As soon as we get the tower, we end up going dragon. Best time, in my opinion. If you ever have a choice between dragon or tower, always go for the tower, because after, as you can see, they have to go to the tower to stop the push. they have to do something about that in case you guys all decide to clump up there and push a second tower. So by default, they're not going to be thinking about dragon. It's not on their priority list if the tower goes down, so you get a free dragon. Here comes the team fight phase. We just practically just jump on people. I mean, that's pretty much the situation we're in. Now Fiora comes in from behind. Fiora was basically the odd one out on their team because Fiora had actually won her lane. She was contributing, but after the game, she told me that she feels she should have rushed the Hydra, and I kind of understand that. As you can see, her team fight is going to be kind of one-sided because we are all fed, whereas she is the only one fed on their team, or at least moderately fed, which kind of leads to Blade of the Ruined King not being the best item choice, since we all decide to go relatively squishy anyways. Now, Sona gets us. Doesn't matter all that much because right now we're just playing. We have more people on the map. We are getting kills left, right, and as you can see, that poke. Now at this point, I'm not sure what we do. We kind of just back off. I go back to lane because, well, I mean, free farm, and at this point, as you can see, because we had been pressuring them, Vayne is out of her lane because she had to go help in that team fight phase. We kind of just forced a team fight phase early on them because, well, we had a lead, so why not? And what this does is, in the end, I'm probably going to get more free farm. Now, Vayne still farms a little better than me throughout the game, but that's kind of just my style in general. As I said, I really need to practice my farming. Last hitting is not my forte. I'm going to push up this lane anyways, regardless, because at this point, as you can see, 3 people, including their Sona, which means their bot lane, is distracted, chasing Rengar up top. That's how I knew I can get this tower, and honestly, Rengar being so fed, you can even see that. I'm pretty sure he got out of that alive. Like, I didn't think it was a priority for me to be in that fight, so it's one of the few times that really, as an AD carry, I would recommend just pushing out on your own, because if we're that ahead, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can 1v1 the Vayne if she does try anything, and her support was top, so it's overall an easy time for me. Now, here's where I make a mistake, and it's a kind of a mistake on all ends, but I flash dive. I really try hard to get that kill, but I missed a few auto attacks there, at least 1 or 2, and that made all the difference in the world. So that was a huge mistake on my part. It was kind of just me going, okay, you know what, I'm super freaking fed, my team's not here. And in theory, yes, I should have been able to kill her, but, you know, I just panicked at the last second, realizing that things weren't going my way. And honestly, panicking is one of the easiest ways to die, I find, in my personal opinion. When you're trading with someone, there's so many times where you can just panic and just end up dying, which is a really bad position to be in, and it really sucks, but it's kind of human nature. If you're in danger, you start panicking. Alright, so Rengar just picks off some more people in the jungle. Right now we're really strong. We're going for a push. We had just went ahead and killed the Vayne, and now we're going to go ahead and siege their tower. Aatrox lagging behind. Aatrox is the one who didn't quite win his lane as hard as we did, though. So we don't feel too uncomfortable, especially since Vayne's... oh wait, what's the Vayne? Oh no, it's Sona. Alright, I'm thinking of a different fight. Now, I put out my ultimate. It is pretty well placed, and it ends up dragging to everyone, allowing us to get some good priority targets down. That pretty much picks us up a triple kill. And at this point, we can just grab turrets, because we're just kind of just killing people because we just got such a lead. I mean, when you can get out of a team fight with all 5 of your people after killing 2 or more of theirs, especially at high health, yeah, you kind of know that this is your time to push, because what can they really do to us? At this point, sure, Nautilus can try to tank, but Nautilus alone is not going to be enough. And if we've killed off some priority targets, then yeah, overall a fun time for us. Now, retreat is pinged out. We are considering Baron at this point. I mean, kind of a decent call, but the death timers aren't that high because this is still only a 20-minute game. And as you can see, Nautilus there, Sona there. That's 2 very hard AoE CC people. We just decide to ping no Baron. That's not going to work out well for us because they can easily contest it at this point. Everyone was up. So I go back bot lane. It's pushed up, so I just go back to lane, pick off Vayne. Now, Fiora does her little thing here, trying to get kills, but alas, we are way too fed at this point. Because I know Fiora was dead, I decided to just go straight for the Malzahar. I mean, I blow my ult for him, but when you think about it, it's not that big a deal, because if I can blow my ult to get him down, it basically secures another kill. That's 3 kills. We can basically push to win at this point, or at least that's the idea. And this is a situation I love for, like, being able to push. Look how Vayne died, and then the rest of her team died 10 seconds later. Now, this basically means we get 10 seconds more free push, because if Vayne comes in alone, we can just kill her, and we know it. So that's a situation that you want to look for when people are dead in intervals, interval dying. That'll give you very good ability to push and just play out an advantage a lot harder than if they all died at the same time. Now, I just try to get into a position to kite Vayne around there. Vayne ends up dying. I start to put out some damage, and we inevitably, as you kind of probably would have guessed, win the game as a result of that. So that's my Varus playing. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is Silver 4 solo queue Varus. And that is the victory. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I might come out with more of these because they're not so hard to make. I'll just have to get better at actually slowing down the clips for team fights. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that.